go. So in this video we're going to get started on the Genestealer Cult Patriarch, which you can find in the Brood Coven box. But as always, before we get started with that, don't forget to, if you haven't already, to subscribe to the channel, and don't forget that way to press the bell button alongside it so you don't miss any of my uploads. Alright, so let's have a look at the paints we're going to need. So of course this, as always, this is the model, and this is where we're going to end up being. So you can see we've got some of the basis of the model down and ready to go. And to get there we are going to start with a layer of Ushabti bone. I'm going to be using a layer paint rather than a base paint to start off with this. I will be shading it with Caribou Crimson. We're going to use a dry brush, a rack white, and then we are also going to be using Druchii Violet. That will be shading up the brain. And then we're going to use some Changeling Pink and Hexus Pale Sun. I'll dry brush the brain up a bit. And then of course, as you can see, we're going to use plenty of Abaddon Black to get the base coats down on the carapace. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave a comment and all of that. So without further ado, we'll get cracking on with it, shall we? So come on, let's get cracking. So as with almost all of my models, I start with a grey grind model. Excuse me. And to start with, I'm going to crack out the old Ushabti bone. And what I'm going to do is pretty much cover the entire model with a nice thin down layer of Ushabti bone. So, as any of you who've already seen this model on GW website, a lot of that is actually carapace and will not be as dark as this. And also this is a commission piece, so I'm not doing it exactly the same way GW do it. I'm doing it in the way the client wants it. But on the whole, that is a nice and smooth coat there. So I'm just going to leave this to dry, and then we'll come back to the next step. Alright, now that's lovely and dry. I'm going to come in with some Caribou Crimson. And again, this is pretty much going to go over the entire model. Where's the brush? There we go. So, what I'm going to do is just get this and just gently all over the entire model. Okay, so that now needs to be left to dry, and we'll just pop it down and just leave it there for all of that wash to dry. Okay. Alright, so now that we've got the wash all dry, we are going to come in with a rack white. I'm going to give this thing a nice dry brushing. Like I've said previously, I'm going to give the old Citadel dry brush a try. So let's have a look at this. So we're going to grab a little bit of rack white on the brush, and then wipe most of it off, like so. Alright, and then what we're going to do is just gradually build up the white all over what we've just done. There we go, so you may have noticed that I went over that possibly a couple of times. Don't be afraid, you know, the whole point of dry brushing is to build that layer up nice and slowly, as to not paint the model. You are only after the highlights. So, you know, don't be afraid to just go lightly over one area and just come back to it again in a minute, just going over it one brush stroke at a time, just building up that colour nice and slowly. And so now you can see now that we have some nice dark recesses, we have some really bright highlights, and we do have some of that mid-tone somewhere in the middle. So I'm happy about that. Now what I want to do now is I want to get on with the brain before we start worrying about the carapace. So to do that, what I'm going to do is, the first thing is to come in with some Drucci Violet and turn that brain a little bit purple. So straight from the pot with a nice reasonably small brush control, and we are just going to wash in the brain. I just don't want to stop this pooling just here. You see there's a bit of the pool if you look on the other side. It's okay, just on the edge of the brain here. So I empty the brush out, make sure I've got nothing in the brush. Just come along and soak most of that up. And I can remove it and move it around if I need to. And there we go. So that brain there is washed with purple. We're going to leave that to dry as usual. before moving on to the next step. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I am going to come in and we're going to do some light kind of blending going on here. Now we're not going to worry about wet blending this, we're going to layer up some dry paint to give us some different tones going on in there. So the first, whoops, that's not helpful, just dropping my paints around. The first thing I'm going to do is come in with Changeling Pink. I'm going to have my Citadel starter brush, which is one of my favourite, I like to call them precision dry brushes. This is a very small brush, I don't mind about the tip getting damaged, and it allows me to get really close with details. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the Changeling Pink just along the easier to get to parts of the model, okay, like that, okay, just around here, and then we're going to come in around here, just build up some of this pink, like that, there we are. We'll come in on the other side. Now obviously that hand is a little bit in the way for you to see, so I'll pop in on this side, reload brush, and do the same thing on this side. Here we go. So just coming along, and we're just gonna, in the center here, just run the brush along there like that. There we are. Down the center, and then we're going to put the pink away, and we're going to come in with Exos Pale Sun, which is a yellow dry paint, and I'm still going to use the dirty pink dry brush, so just get straight onto the dirty brush, and we're going to do the same thing again. And as I pull that, rub this off, it turns into kind of a peachy colour. You know, the pink blends with the yellow. Let me just do the same thing again, only this time right in the centre here. And we'll do the same thing on this side here. Center there, like so. Alright, and then what I do need to do is, because I actually want to come in with just the yellow, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to find myself another brush, a clean one this time, and I'm going to do the same thing again, just in with the yellow, rub that off, and then come in with the yellow. Right down there, we are. Very gently. Just throw down some of this yellow. Like that, there we go. So it should, theoretically, it looks a little bit blended. Now obviously you could wet blend that and have that really blended, but for me that will do nicely. And so the next bit now is going to be the carapace, which will be Abaddon Black. And so I'm going to use Abaddon Black, and all of the carapace I am going to paint up. Okay, and then due to the fact that I can only speed this up to 400%, and I think this is going to take me a while. If we have a look here, this is what we're going to look at, and I think it's going to be very rare that I'll do this, but the amount of time it's going to take me to do it, I think is probably best for the video. You can see that I'm just picking out all the carapace with black. I'm going to pause the recording here. I'm going to get on with painting all the black, and I will come back when it's all done. Alright? Just to save you sitting there watching me do this rather slow job. There we are. So I've brought you back at the end of this process of doing the black now, and it's not like my usual editing style, I will admit. Got a quick glance up at the clock. Tells me that painting the black here basically took me the best part of an hour, and like I said, I can only speed up the video 4 times, so 400% speed. So doing the math, this little section of painting would have been 15 minutes long of nothing more than me painting my black. So if you've got any problems, or if you've got any comments about what I just did there in terms of what you might have missed, or whether you think it wasn't necessary and sitting there watching 15 minutes of me doing what I was doing is okay, then feel free to throw that down in the comments. You might also wonder why I've done it this way. Why did I do all of the skin work and then come in with the black? And that's purely because of the skin. These are specifically these bits on the inside here. If I'd have painted the entire model black, first of all, the Ushabti bone wouldn't have gone over the black very well, because black is a very dark colour, it's difficult to paint over, so I would have had to have layered that up a couple of times probably to make sure that goes on. And then, considering even when I did that, if I wanted to highlight all of these tiny little ribs, I would have had to have gone in with a brush and highlight every single one of them, and that's not the point of this channel. The point of this channel is to show you how to do things without giving you a headache and still getting reasonably good results. Now, that's not me saying that there is a right and a wrong way of painting this model. I'm just showing you an option. Alright, so I just sawed a bit, I just saw a bit that I just need to touch up, just around there. Thank you very much. Get that done, don't want to miss any. Just give the thing a good once over, and I think I'm going to call this video done here, because yeah, I think that's pretty good. We've done quite a lot there. We did the brain, we did the skin, and we did the carapace. So yeah, let's move this so you can actually see me. There we go. I thought that was that's pretty good. I do like the way this is coming together. So this will be another playlist again, as always. We'll get through all of this model and show you how I paint them. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed this one. Feel free, like I said, throw down some comments below if you've got anything to say or anything to suggest. And don't forget, if you haven't already, to press the subscribe button and that way the bell button next to it. I usually do it with that hand, don't I? There we go. Alright, subscribe and hit the bell button next to it and you won't miss any of my uploads. And don't forget, while you're down there, you can have a look at all of my social media links, as well as a Patreon link to help support the channel should you wish to do so. Alright, but other than that, I'll just say thank you for watching this one. I'll catch you in the next one. Alright, done.